Hey guys, it's Kim here with Fairly Fiber Fun. Thanks for joining me on lesson 4 of this Learning to Card Fleece class. Today we will be painting the same picked fiber that we carded in lesson 3. We will be painting onto the drum, and then we're going to do a comparison between the painted on bat and the carded through the liquor bat. And I'm going to call that one the fed through bat versus the painted on bat. So today is a little extra lesson, and it's a comparison more than a technique. Although you will learn how to paint, you will learn when painting the fibers directly on the Swift, the large drum, is necessary or useful, and when it isn't, the pros and the cons. We will be discussing all of that in today's lesson, and doing quite a bit of comparing each bat. Both bats will go through the carder 3 times, but you will only see that once. I'm focusing today on the painted in bat, but at the very end there will be a short little clip sped up of recarding the final pass on both bats. So I hope you enjoyed today's video and today's lesson, and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Painting on the drum carder completely bypasses the liquor in, and you're literally going to take a small section of fiber, hold it in your hand, lay it on the drum, and gently allow it to pull through your fingers as you're turning the handle. This is much easier with flicked locks, but can be done with a pretty good size handful. This method of carding is especially handy with the more tender, delicate, soft fleeces, because sometimes feeding in through the liquor drum can cause stress between the two drums. There could be stress on the fibers, and they end up breaking or being overly stretched and then popping back and creating nuts and noils that you don't want in your bat. So this is a really great way to avoid that, and it's only for the first time of carding unless your fiber is super flyaway and it simply won't go on the drum any other way. In which case, experimentation is key, and yes, I am picking out veg matter as I go. I do not like painting veg matter onto my drum carder. Another benefit to painting the fibers onto the drum carder is you can literally put the fiber wherever you want with a lot less worry about it sliding down into this area here and getting all tangled up. There's no right and wrong way to card. There is things you need to know because of how the carder is designed and how it works, but it's really not that particular about how you do it. So it does look quite messy. You can see that it doesn't seem to be carded as well. but I'm more concerned about neps and noils at this point than I am about the evenness and smoothness of the bat, because they will get smoothed out as they go. Painted, fed through the liquor. And that's a beautiful bat. Now we're going to run the painted on bat, and it is very messy. Instead of spreading it out, kind of drafting the strip to help align the fibers a little bit better. And I'm going a little slower since it's a little bit more messy. I wasn't holding the fiber back, but I was guiding it so it would stay the direction I wanted it to be. If you hold it back, it's just going to wrap around the liquor drum and cause a big mess. So here I've got a very messy strip. I'm going to gently draft it out. And then feed it in. And as I do that, I'm gently spreading it and guiding it. I'm not pulling it backwards. If you get to a thick spot and need to draft it, stop turning, pull back, let go, and then allow it to go on at its own pace. I hope that makes sense. This particular section of the bat is really disorganized and crazy. Looks almost like just picked wool that wasn't even carded. And yes, that can happen when you're painting on the drum carder, especially if you're in a rush and you don't take the time to do it slow and neatly. And I'm not the most patient person on the planet, so I don't like to do things slow if I don't have to. But sometimes slow really does pay off in the end. And you can tell that the fibers are aligning much more thoroughly on this pass than they did in the first one where we painted on. When you go to remove your bat, please do be very careful not to try to lift too much fiber at one time. If it's a big struggle, back off and do less at a time. You don't want to damage the fibers, the carding cloth, or your joints. So please do be very careful with this. Alright, let's do a comparison. This is twice carded, and it was originally fed in through the liquor. There are little bits and pieces. There's still some veg matter. Some of that is just picked up because my surface here is dirty. Definitely needs another pass to be really smooth and beautiful. This is the one that was originally painted on, and it's not quite as smooth as the first one. It is a little more airy and fluffy. So let's run them through one more time and then we'll do a comparison. So here is the final comparison. We have the bat that was fed in through the liquor here, and then we have the one that was painted on right here. And there's not a huge amount of difference. Except for the fact that there's less fiber in this one. I think there's a little bit less neps and noils in the painted on bat than there are in the fed through the liquor.